Look at that. That was cool. She waited until the don't walk sign turned into a walk sign. Oh, and then she walked right through the pole. But we are watching Ivy Rosales.
Oh,
She's happy. She's happy because the city, as of right now, has not collapsed. We are, we just entered month number 2. We downloaded and installed the Economy 2.0 patch in February. It is now March, and I'm starting to wonder, when we started this city, we took our time. We didn't expand outrageously. We didn't buy a lot of things. We if you think about the episodes, I was focused heavily on getting a good foundation set with the farms, making sure that we weren't relying on importing our goods. Actually, we worked on not not only not importing but actually exporting our electricity and setting up a variety of in industries. And I'm wondering if by doing that and not having to rely on the subsidies, the government subsidies, which are no longer even an option, I wonder if that's helped us. Now, if you remember, we were making a lot more money than we were spending. That has narrowed, but at least we are positive. Look at that. Look at that green arrow. Population, green arrow. So I wonder, we still have March and April to go through. But if you remember last episode, there were lots of icons telling us that we had lots of deceased waiting to be picked up. And I don't see any indicators of that. Look at that. Population increased. Citizen happiness increased. Now here's something. Let's do this. This is going to be fun. Fortunately, I have a backup version of this city that has not been loaded since the patch. So this backup version, we should be able to load it up. We should turn back the clock to February before the patch takes effect, because I'm really curious. So let's look at this. So 186 birth rate per month, 451 death rate per month. Look at the moved in, moved out. 13.1% unemployment. That seems a little high. But here's the thing. I think this is another thing that's helping us is 8.8% of our population were seniors. Look at that, 71% of our population adults. So if this patch, if our city was a little further along, and let's say our seniors were more in that 20-25%, I think we'd feel this. Look at the children, 14% of our population. When they grow up, we are in for, as long as these adults reach senior stage in a staggered fashion. But yeah, I am really curious. Look, 12.4% unemployment, 451 death rate. Let's go to the backup save. I really want to take a look at the population tab. Oh, and I also want to see what we were earning. So the monthly balance, 705,236. Okay, let's load up our backup saved version of this city. All right, let's pause. All right, and just like that, we are back to February. Our population, we are now 2,000 residents fewer. Look at the icons. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's look at this. Look at that monthly balance. Wow. We were making a lot of money. Okay, population. You know what? We're just not noticing it. We're in a death. The death wave is taking place. So before the patch, death rate 92 per month, and if I remember correctly, I think we're at a 400 and something. 8.7 unemployment. So we've got an unemployment situation going on as our industry rebalances itself. Wow, look at this. Look at all of these. They said we would not see this as much. All of the high rent. Look at all of these high rent because they've recalculated the simulation. What else? Waiting for ambulance. So we shouldn't see as much about the high rent, but I am blown away by. Oh, let's do this. Do we have any senior? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're following 8 citizens. Let's go back to our city and see if we still have 8 citizens that we're following. I don't recall that we were following any seniors, but wow. Our monthly balance. All because of the tile. The upkeep of the tiles. Interesting. Well, I'm glad I have this. I'm going to leave this. I'm not going to let this city run. I'm going to leave it like this so we can continue to go back and compare as March turns into April. April turns into May, because this should only last for 2 more months. All right, we are back. March, population has increased, happiness has gone up. Look at that. Look at our balance. Before the patch, we were bringing in over 3 million. Now we're at 600,000. What's our demand like? Industrial demand, look at that. They think the taxes are too high. Office demand, taxes too high. But our overall, our happiness, look at that. Oh, look at that. Overall, the city's happy. Are we following 8 people? Okay, good. All right, well, we have to be careful about our spending. This kind of I mean, we do have one more card that we can play, but yeah, let's just be careful about how we spend our money. But welcome back to more City Skylines 2. So if you are just joining and you're not 100% sure what I'm talking about, the developers of the game released a update, a patch called Economy 2.0, in which they reworked how the simulation deals with the economy, how the city makes money, how it spends money. And you knew that you had to pay attention, because they even released kind of a checklist of what to do, what to look for, what could happen to your city. The three big things, there are lots of little things, but the 3 big things is there was an extra tab here that's no longer there. It's gone. Government subsidies. It was a way to have a little bit of a safety net, if you will. So if we were being irresponsible with our money, then that subsidy would help us out. That's number 1. Number 2, you had to now go and set up a policy if you were importing your water and your power. And early on in this city, I said, I kind of don't want to do that. I want to export, and I'm glad we did that. Number 3, except for the original tiles that you start out with, all of the tiles that we've selected, if you think about it, we've got tiles. Look at this. Look at this tile. This is a great example. This tile right here, the only reason that we purchased it was for this little sliver of highway. But we are paying for it. But we are paying for it. Look at this. We've selected this tile. There is nothing. We haven't built anything, yet we're paying upkeep. So I think what has been, oh, here's another. Look at this. Look at this tile. We're paying for these tiles, not only to purchase them, but to upkeep. Which I just don't think I agree with. I'm struggling with the concept of paying an upkeep. And I know maybe that's kind of realistic, but I don't know. I don't know. Let me show you. I'm going to show you the potential workaround. So under map options, you see that? Unlock map tiles. Using this option will disable map tile upkeep costs. The only penalty, if you consider it that, the only penalty is you just don't take part in achievements, which is really not that important to me anyway. So I'm gonna play with. I'm not gonna check this just yet. Let's see how we do. But this is our. This is that backup plan, just in case. So while I decide what I'm gonna do about the map tiles, we still need to continue on with our city. So for right now, my plans for this downtown, we're just gonna kind of put them on pause, maybe for an episode or so. What I feel like we need to do is I want to continue investing in my specialized industry. I feel like the fact that we've got farms and that we're into forestry and we are getting oil out of the ground, I kind of feel like that's what's what's helping this city. So let's take a look at our fertility. I just want, so we've got this corner that we've not developed. Let's do some farms. Let's do a grain, let's do a vegetable, and let's do a textile. And then maybe we'll get into some I just want to continue getting this, working on this foundation. I feel like this is going to help us. So let's do one grain. Let's do one vegetable. A little variety. Let's do this. I don't want them to touch. Let's do that. Let's turn the snapping off. Let's do this. We don't have a ton of space, but that's okay. Let's do it here. All right. Do we want to do stone right next to... I wonder what that would look like. Would that throw off the look? Because the thing is, you can set up this industry anywhere. I mean, we already kind of have the infrastructure set up. Let's place it and see what it looks like. If it looks out of place, because I think the colors are going to be a little bit weird. I think. Well, maybe not. No. You know what? That's not bad, though. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Let's go with that. Let's zoom out and look at it. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Because I don't want to buy... not necessarily buy any tiles. Or would it have made more sense to do it over here? I may do another one. I think I'm gonna leave that, but let's get this set up. And if I change my mind, we already have some set up here. Let's... got some areas zoned for offices. Let's draw right through here.
You're back with Second Moon Radio, your second musical home from home. So settle back in your chair, pour yourself a glass, and prepare for another hour of musical delight. Tonight we are doing a musical tour of Italia. Land of art and culture. Que bon, as they say. And an aria inspired by the infamous Vivaldi.
You can tell I'm focused
A
on
housing shortage is driving up prices.
I'm
in the
focused
area.
on this
That's
because
right.
I haven't turned
But
off the
apparently
radio.
that's not all good news. We're joined today by an expert guest, Professor Nutbutter.
Welcome, Professor. So, a housing shortage is bad for the people trying to move here, right?
Humans are programmed to desire certain representations within ideological reward structures, which are entirely apart from the actual rewards enjoyed. For example, consider capital.
One final question, Professor.
There.
Is the housing shortage
And
going to
now
make
that that
me
is finished,
Interesting news from the.
good. That was about all. That's about all I could take. Let's do this. Let's do it right. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. I think I'm gonna need time for this to grow on me. But we're gonna leave it. That's going to help because we've got 12% unemployment. We've got people moving in. But my concern, I don't know. I know that the simulation is redoing industry, and I just don't know how many more people we should bring in. But if the demand is there, let's. Let's fill in some of these gaps. Let's at least do that. Let's do a little bit of commercial. For future, because we don't have commercial demand right now. We got some industrial demand. Population increased. Citizen happiness increased. Well, as long as they stay happy. That's all I care about. Let's at least if we really had to, we could shift this highway and really hug the upper portion of this tile, and we could at least start working on how much is this? You know what? We could purchase some of these tiles and set it where we're not paying the upkeep. I just kind of feel like for what I want to do, paying an upkeep fee on the tiles is just going to I just kind of feel like it's going to grind us down to a halt. Unless all of a sudden things start to really, what I should do is I should be patient. I should continue working on the foundation, making sure we've got good infrastructure, making sure we've got good specialized industry. And by April, because I think as we leave the month of April, we'll have a really good idea of where we stand. That's what I think. And I also think we should be really happy that we are not in we're just not looking at a city that's in meltdown. Those are my thoughts.